Heads up, this guide in particular will primarily be focusing on both Changed and Changed Plus. Thus, there will be no additional add-ons included that add on to the Changed content. The only add-on that I'll have that's outside of it is the gun add-on. Everything else will be more or less focused on the Change side of things. So, let us begin. And actually, before I go ahead and go through, I need to grab all this, obviously. Yeah. I'll talk about this little menu a little later. First things first. General mechanics. And immediately to the left of me is a room filled with white latex drones. One of the things that is very noteworthy is the fact that you cannot fight them with just basic equipment, because long story short, or you will get transferred. This is where the combat tips come in. First of all, armor is useless against them. You could be wearing your protection 5 for all I care, and it will not protect you. This is when the new hazmat set comes in. Sure, it kind of blinds you a little, but there's also the hazard legging armor set, which is designed to do the same thing but less effective. The armor that I'm wearing is more or less designed to help you deal with them. You can craft each set with this resource here, which can also then be made like so. Well, there are more things, but most of it I'll just let you figure out. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate them getting swarming me with this armor. As you can see, they can't do anything because I'm wearing their set. Basically, if I wasn't wearing this armor, I would have met fate very, very quickly. Alternatively, you can make the hazard set. This only provides you the resistance, not so much protection. The next part is the interaction with NPC, mob, and the player. This Dark Latex Wolf is targeting this husk right now. If you remember, I mentioned about the armor thing. Here's what happens if you weren't wearing that armor. Yeah, that would have happened. Latex creatures deal normal damage to mobs, but will deal special transfer damage to non-humans. I don't know why, but I do not believe they can actually transfer me. For some reason. And why I make sure. Player through. However, there are ways of dealing with this problem. The Dark Latex set. Of course, it only works on Dark Latex. So I'm going to break their line of sight. Wait a bit. And then come back in. You can see they completely ignore me now. Oh, and are not trying to attack me. As I can walk right up against them and they won't care. You can also pet them as well. Of course, the second you hit them, I'm pretty sure they can see right through it now. They'll try to transfer you again. Now then, other mechanics. Latex creatures don't just have the ability to transfer you directly, they have other methods of doing so. But before I talk about that, one of the things that you can use if you don't want to sleep today is the retinal scanner. By right-clicking on it, you can set your respawn point. But you won't sleep till day, and your respawn point is set here. So, for example, say, I don't know, you walk into a room, and, I don't know, you get transferred, or like so. Because I don't have Fight to Keep Consciousness on, you just die and respawn. You'll respawn exactly right here. Of course, there are ways of dealing with the gas. Oh, that's nice. The first method, of course, is by locating the source and turning it off. To buy yourself time. Now, this one is an organic type. I'll tell the differences between organics and latexes later. There. Next up are some other important things. Syringes. These are primarily how you get the different latex creature forms. And this will allow you to see all the different types. It's been bugged like this for a while. Not all of them, of course, are available for obtaining. Some can only be obtained through finding them throughout the world or through experimentation. However, of course, you need a valid blood sample. How do you get one? Well, by simply making a syringe with this correlating recipe down here at the bottom, you can make one. Upon making one, you still can't use it. That's when you come in, the player. By holding right mouse, you can take a blood sample of yourself. It will deal damage, a tiny amount, but not a whole lot. Now, be noteworthy, please keep this in mind, you can die from this. After you get your blood sample, you want to choose one of your latex creatures to get a general base if you want. For example, say, I don't know. I want I'm trying to find one right now that work. The latex wolf. Hey, I'm gonna need to borrow those samples. Serious? Hold on. Hello, my old friend. Thank you. Alright, this didn't go as according to plan. So it takes yourself of the trouble. Well, you'll need a latex base in order to do so. Of course, alternatively, you can just grab one of these. I don't know why I did it, but with that, but whatever method works for the showcase. After you make your latex creature form, you can go ahead and go to your purifier and throw it in here. It will take a while for it to do so. You can utilize the catalyzer to get a catalyzed variant of it. Uninfusers give you the latex unfusing stuff. Advanced ones are faster and better at their jobs. Another thing of note is that you can actually store her dark latex goo within beakers and flasks, and white latex too in the same location, alongside like designated latex containers. Some other mechanics, you can use cardboard containers, both small and medium, to store things. You can also hide inside tall ones. This virtually makes you invisible to everything. You can press shift to exit. Use this to your knowledge if you want. It doesn't have much use. Now then, the biggest change. How do you become a latex creature? As right here, I cannot exit my room, the room I'm in, and because these required me to have paws, and although Lucky does have paws, these ones don't recognize him. This, when these come in, In the old version, you can simply make an IV rack or find one, and simply right-click on the base of it, hit to fill, the ice drips. Can it stop raining? That would be great. If you can rather ruin this, I'm still gonna upload it as is. And then sleeping till dead. Sleeping in the bed will allow you to do so. However, with some game rules, you can just use this directly if you want. But I can't here. There. So what now? Am I just trapped in this room unless I break the walls down? Well, no. By simply right-clicking on the new stasis chamber, which can be found or crafted throughout the world. Well, with this recipe here, computers can typically be found. And then right-clicking on it, you can get access to this chamber, to this new UI. What you want to do is place down an oxidated water canister in here, and your correlating syringe. You do not have to take off any of your clothing items. You want to go to Programs and select Transfer. This will open up the chamber automatically for you. Players or mobs can walk into this, so keep that in mind. Then simply step into the chamber. It doesn't matter which way you face. It will close in, and you will be trapped here. And the chamber will fill up on its own. The HUD does stay enabled, but I'm just disabling it for demonstration purposes. Then you wait. It will take a while for it to occur, but it never really takes that long. Once it is done, once the transformation progress is finished, the chamber will drain, and the door will open. And welcome to your new fluffy body. The syringe will be consumed. However, you can always get a fresh one ready to be used later. Now, you don't have to use an oxidated water canister here. Alternatively, you could use a skunk transfer gas, tiger transfer gas, or even the wolf gas canisters. Alternatively. However, they're not like the syringes, and therefore will cause a death. Now that I have a proper pause, I can step on these and go right through them without an issue. The next thing are some of the other environmental stuff, primarily the new mechanics. As soon as you're transferred, you're kind of going to be stuck like this. To turn yourself back to normal, you must create a syringe with Links comma in it, requiring you to use the uninfuser or advanced uninfuser. It's a longer set of recipes. String of recipes to make the thing that you want. But for the sake of of showcase purposes, I will be staying like this. You can also exoskeletons. Exoskeletons are essentially a powerful source of armor. They're expensive, requiring both a laser emitter, computer, or armor stand, blocks of iron, and diamonds, alongside a copper ingot. You do lose the ability to put on your lab coat if you have one, which can be made with this recipe here. The gas mask also serves a secondary purpose, mainly to help you walk through hazardous locations. The exoskeleton is limited, though. It has limited charge. If it runs out, you'll automatically unequip it. You can also take it off manually if you so desire, and hold it like an item. Its main use is both to act as a powerful armor source and as a guard. It will not attack me no matter what. Its main purpose is primarily to attack players who have the latex shorts on. However, because I'm already transferred, it will mostly ignore me. Keep in mind, humans can also wear these as well. No, it doesn't serve much purpose. But it's there. You can also punch them a few times to pick them up. You'll need an exoskeleton charger to charge them, and if necessary, which can be made with this recipe here on the screen. Of course, you can also hit an exoskeleton a couple of times to get it out. Of course, it is just an exoskeleton. Well, that was unintended. So, what now? Oh, maybe not organic. Okay, I'm gonna cut off real quick, so... one moment. Alright, I'm back. Now then, there we are. As a latex creature, none of the latex creatures in the game will no longer try and attack you. They'll only attack if provoked, in any way, shape, or form. This means I can walk right up to a white latex creature and kill it. Of course, this won't apply to all latex creatures. Some species will still attack you. You also lose the ability to interact with hand scanners. So if you want to get around quickly, it's best to utilize paw scanners whenever necessary. Need to help out. Still do everything that a normal player can do. You can run, jump, walk, and so forth. You can also press a designated key to open up this reticle menu. Of course, the type that I am doesn't have any powers. Every single laser piece has different powers. Why are you spinning? For the aggro rule, they must take damage lethally, non-lethally. So if I shoot them, they're now hostile. That was odd. Of course, in normal conditions, I would have to use a bow, which would result in killed. Well, well, alternatively, you could have used CSC baton or shield. These cause a stun effect to whoever hits them. You can still use scanners even while transferred. So no worries about that. So, what are the downsides as a latex piece? Well, it depends on the type you are. Organics, like the one I am right now, are generally treated identically, like a normal player would be. You have exactly the same properties as a normal player would, except of course you're fluffy and taller. You also typically naturally have higher defense than normal, alongside extra health. However, considering that all latex features are treated differently, some are better than others. For example, if you want to get around quickly through water, choosing aquatic, primarily the anthropomorphized class of latex features. Example, tiger shark, or sharks in general, alongside the squid dog. The mermaid class ones swim faster than those ones, but are terribly slow on land. Along with that, and some other noteworthy things is that considering that some latex creatures are handled differently from others, it's best to keep in mind what latex features are capable of, what every single latex piece is capable of, just from a glimpse. Because I only have the gun here for demonstration purposes, it's best to keep in mind that you won't always have a gun on hand, or this much ammo. So typically, keep in mind, you are not a hero. You don't have the durability nor the resources to handle swarms of latex beasts at once. Know your limits when it comes to fighting them directly. Are going to have to fight them, and keep one thing and one thing in mind. Armor is useless against them. Wear whatever armor you want, it's not going to help you in the long run. Though there are ways around this. There's primarily enchantments. Of course, I'm too lazy to show the designated enchantments. Mostly. These are relegated primarily to plus. You can tell I can't find the one I'm looking for. Long story short, know your limits. It's never try and fight groups of too many latex beasts at once. Sure, spam quickly does work, but this ain't Bedrock. You're not going to deal a whole lot of damage. Another thing as well, is that because you have to know what your limits are. It's typically never best to fight more than one latex beast at once. Especially if you're playing in hardcore mode, or if you're not playing with a method of getting back to normal. Well, if you're transferred, your game is pretty much over. Under normal conditions, if you are transferred, your game will come to an immediate end. And while there are game rules and mechanics you can turn on to help mitigate this and mitigate your time dying, one way or another, you're going to get transferred. And while if you're, say, talk to guests, hello, oh, you can beat the game without getting transferred. Well, usually. I mean, everyone has their own skills and such. Hell, I might try and beat Transferred Plus without getting transferred. Transferred Ascension and Remastered is the main one that I'm planning on doing it on. For one, and while I will have a friend there, possibly, I will have the capabilities of doing so on my own terms. But long story short, if you want to be able to handle yourself very well, and want to stay human, don't try and fight groups of latex beasts. Stay with single targets and fight them like how you would fight zombies normally. Just one latex creature is enough to turn you from your normal human self to this. Anyways, now. Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye! The link for the music will be in the description, and the compliments.